Welcome back, everyone. Today we have some very interesting new developments in the Amen Clinic saga. The doctors that I stole Terry Bradshaw's medical records from in one of my previous videos. For those of you who don't know, Terry Bradshaw is one of the most famous football players to ever live. One of the reasons I use his medical records to get your attention with. And suffice to say that Terry is not a very happy camper right now. But that's okay, because there's nothing him or his fancy lawyers can do about it. No matter how hard they try. You hear that, Terry? Can't do shit, big guy? So why don't you just go sit down and wait quietly till this is all over, okay, old man? Because working for the DIA gives me a special type of legal immunity that no matter what I do, I will not be prosecuted. Na-na-na-boo-boo. I won't bore you all with a bunch of legal jargon, so the best way I could describe this situation I'm in to you guys is like I'm that guy in the Super Mario game who just picked up the star power so I could just run straight through opponents that would normally be able to easily kill me. For those of you who aren't familiar with that analogy, I'll show you what I mean at the end of this video. Before I go any farther, I would just like to say that the Amen Clinic is a great place that does great work, and that their style of mental health care is something we desperately need in this country right now. We have way too many pill-mill psychiatrists weaponizing our youths into violent psychopaths with obscenely high doses of toxic pharmaceutical drugs. So after we get done knocking the Amen clinics down and checking their egos, we're gonna build them back up into a more successful organization than they have ever been before. They just don't know yet, so they're kind of shitting their pants right now. In my sessions with the Amen Clinic, I worked with the guy who runs their main branch in LA, named Dr. Dormal. Dr. Dormal, or Dr. D as I like to call him, is a great doctor, one of the top in the world for his field. So he's a really smart cookie. He's also a really nice and hardworking guy, someone who cares deeply about his patients and who busts his ass 6 days a week to make their lives better. He's a great guy, I like him a lot. But Dr. D, like all the other world-class boomers, has an ego that sometimes inhibits his decision-making ability. An ego that causes him to irrationally dismiss out of hand ideas that don't comport with his existing worldviews, no matter how much empirical evidence there is. The hilarious part about this story is that I was super straightforward with Dr. D from the instant we met. I told him that I worked for the DIA, I told him that I'm working on a live military intelligence operation called QAnon, and that I would likely go down as one of the baddest DIA agents to ever live. Even showed him my archive of CIA hacking tools. But Dr. D thought that my thoughts sounded a little grandiose. I told him that the grandiosity of my thoughts is perfectly calibrated to the reality of my situation. And then I proceeded to explain to him exactly why and exactly what I thought was going to happen. Even wrote him up some tactful copy for his "We Got Hacked" press release and everything. But Dr. D just thought I was crazy. He probably still does. And to be fair, I'm definitely crazy. But I'm also definitely not wrong. Fast forward to last week when I posted that video of Terry Bradshaw's medical records. The day I did that, I got a text on my cell from Dr. D, begging me to take it down. I responded, "I love you, doc, but no can do. We already discussed this in our sessions. I have a super important DIA operation to conduct and tons of mink vampires to slay." I also told him not to waste any of his money on any fancy corporate lawyers, because that would turn out to be a gigantic exercise in futility, no matter how much he paid them. But of course, he didn't believe me again. So he hired this fancy, jet-setting, big-name lawyer from Silicon Valley. One that promised him that he goes to all the right pretentious dinner parties and that he knows all the right people to be able to get that taken down by YouTube in a jiffy. The lawyer was this guy, Mark White, a partner from a pretentious international law firm called White Summers. Now, Mark is like every other fancy corporate lawyer who has his name on the building. He falsely believes that he is hot shit, which is why it was super easy to bait him and to destroy his career by crossing me. All I had to do was make my YouTube channel private for 1 day, and this empty-headed suit thought he won, declared victory, and sent Dr. D a huge bill. But he didn't actually win. Later on that night, I brought my channel right back by making it public again, and made little Barky Boy look very stupid. I also sent him this cheeky email with a screenshot from my Twitter. which rattled him pretty good. So good that he overreacted big time and became so unhinged that he lied to Dr. D about what actually happened and is now trying to sue my parents. Yep, you heard that correctly. My freaking parents! The ones in Texas who I haven't lived with since high school. How crazy is that? According to lawyer Mark, my parents, who have lived over 1,000 miles away from me for over a decade, became liable for my behavior when they signed a form attesting to being my real parents so they could receive a copy of my reports from that clinic. No joke. This guy is trying to sue my parents into bankruptcy for merely getting a copy of my medical records. Pretty evil, right? But the joke's actually on him. Because instead of spooking me into submission, what he actually just did was verify the authenticity of my leaks indisputably. LOL. Apparently Marky Boy isn't very good at this game. That's why I texted Dr. D and told him that he should fire that clown immediately and just publish the press release that I wrote for him last week. In fact, Marky Boy is such a hilariously incompetent little clown that I don't even need my DIA star power to destroy him right now for threatening my parents. Because he already destroyed himself when he premised this entire case on this verifiable lie. If you look at this threat letter he sent my parents tonight, he claims that he successfully got my video removed on the 16th and that I just reposted it on the 17th. But anyone who takes 10 seconds to actually check can see that my video never actually came down. Meaning Marky Boy just got caught red-handed telling us some tall tales. Whoops! That little silly goose should probably just quit and go find another line of work because he isn't very good at this lawyering thing. Although I haven't figured out what line of work he should move into yet. So maybe you guys can just call and give him some suggestions for me.